Hey everyone! Today I wanted to do a comparison video of Reborn Cuddle babies to normal reborn babies that have a cloth body but have vinyl limbs. So here I have two of my reborn babies, and the one on the left is a cuddle baby and the one on the right is a regular reborn with a cloth body but with full vinyl limbs. So if you're not familiar with the term Reborn Cuddle Baby, it means a doll that is like the one on the left. She has just a vinyl head and she has a fully cloth body, cloth arms, cloth legs, and cloth hands and feet. I have seen a lot of negativity surrounding cuddle babies. I've seen a lot of people say that they hate them, and I've had a lot of people ask me, why would you even want a cuddle baby? Their cloth bodies are ugly and they don't have as many clothing options. So I was thinking about it and I made a list of all of the pros and cons of cuddle babies versus reborn babies that are just normal reborns with the vinyl limbs, like I said. And I wanted to show two side by side, specifically these two, because someone actually requested to see them side by side. So here they are. Before we get started on the pros and cons, I'll tell you guys their sculpts because a lot of people ask that. So the little guy on the right, you guys know as Isaac. He is the Robin sculpt by Nikki Johnston. And the one on the left is the Reborn Brooklyn kit. Her kit does come with vinyl limbs, but this doll was made to just be a cuddle baby, so her limbs were not painted with her, just her head. Okay, so let's get into the pros and cons. First of all, of course, the dolls are called cuddle babies for a reason. The cloth limbs make them super cuddly, and in my opinion, they are super therapeutic and very easy to hold. So if you want something that's weighted in your arms to be very therapeutic to hold, cuddle babies are a great way to go. The second pro to cuddle babies is that they're super poseable. So they can be posed in so many different ways. I love that I can curl her up like a little newborn, or I can have her stretched out like she's stretching. A third pro that I bet a lot of people don't even think about is that you can put dark clothing on a cuddle baby and not worry too much about them, like the color transferring to them, because the color is most likely not going to transfer over to cloth, whereas when you dress a vinyl limbed reborn in like a dark dress or dark pants, then you kind of have to worry about color transferring into the vinyl, and you really do not want that to happen. You don't want to stain your doll. But if I put dark pants on my cuddle baby, I really don't have to worry about it. But normally when people dress their vinyl limbed reborns in like dark pants, for instance, then they will usually put tights underneath of the pants so that the color cannot transfer. Our neighbor never mows. I'm not even kidding. They never mow their yard until now when I choose to film a video. The fourth pro to cuddle babies is that sometimes it will cost less to get a cuddle baby instead of a vinyl limbed reborn, because less work goes into the painting and the creating of the doll. So less time, less paint, and the artist doesn't have to worry about painting all of those little details on the limbs, like the fingernails and the creasing on the limbs and all of those other little details. They do not always cost less, but most of the time if you're purchasing from an artist, like a higher end artist, then they usually do charge less because, again, they only have to paint the head. But in the past, I had a really nice cuddle baby that I paid more for her than I did for some other really nice vinyl limbed Reborns that I had in my collection. So it's not always the case, but a lot of times it can be. The fifth pro of having a cuddle baby is that you can handle them and dress them more often and not have to worry about paint rubs. So when you're dressing like a vinyl limbed Reborn, you kind of have to be super careful about putting their clothes on, trying not to rub paint from their toes and their fingers. You don't want to change them too often because then, I mean, eventually it's going to leave wear on the doll. Whereas with cuddle babies, you don't have to worry about that as much. You can dress them up as much as you want, and you're not going to rub paint off of their cloth limbs. So in my opinion, that makes them a better option if you love to dress your baby all the time in different kinds of outfits, but you are kind of, you know, afraid to interact with your dolls too much and dress them too much. Okay, so now on to the cons. Now this is probably the number one thing that people say they hate about cuddle babies, and it's that you can't dress them in summer clothes. So that's pretty much true. I mean, you can't really dress them up in just a short sleeved onesie or just a onesie at all. You can't dress them up in a cute little summer romper or a swimsuit or anything like that. So that's probably the biggest con for me when owning a cuddle baby, is that I do have less options to dress them. But I will say that there are still a lot of options to dress them, and I am going to do a whole video about some ideas for dressing your cuddle baby. My second con is they have less details to look at. So if you're a collector that really loves all those little details on the hands and the feet and the legs, and you love to take photos of them and admire all the extra little details, then a cuddle baby is probably not for you, because I do find that with cuddle babies, I do kind of miss that detail, the extra detail in the limbs that my other Reborns have. My third one would be that I feel like a lot of cuddle babies have a not very proportionate body. There are some people that are making them now and they're actually pretty good, but sometimes, I don't know, I just feel like the legs are usually pretty bulky, in my opinion. I've only owned, I think, 2 cuddle babies now. This will be my second one. I may have had another one before, but I honestly think this is just my second one. And I had my first one years ago now. But from what I've seen so far, the bodies aren't as proportionate as I would like to see. I actually saw, I think on Instagram, sometime last year, like right after the Rose Doll Show ended, someone was sewing these cuddle bodies that were awesome. They had like the little details and everything added to them, the little fingers and toes, and they just looked awesome. I have no idea who it was now, because like I said, it was last summer, I think, that I saw that. But they said that they would be releasing those cuddle body prototypes at Rose this year. And the fourth one on my list is that they can sometimes be a little more challenging to dress just because of the cloth. So trying to get their hands through sleeves is a little bit difficult sometimes, but it's really not too bad. But I just added it to the list because I thought that it would be good to mention. Anyway, I hope that that helps answer some of your questions that you may have had about cuddle babies and about the pros and cons. I personally really love cuddle babies. I personally, as a collector, would not like to have just cuddle babies in my collection because I love photographing all those little details and admiring all the little wrinkles and all the extra detail that goes into the vinyl limbed Reborns, and I love photographing them as well. But I really love Cuddle Babies, and I hope that this helped you guys make a decision on if you would like a Cuddle Baby in your collection or not. Thanks for watching, everyone.